Hello and welcome to Colors of India, our weekly show where we get you a roundup of some important cultural events in the week gone by. I'm Teena. Let's begin the program with glimpses of events we've covered for you during the past week. First up on the show today, we celebrate the spirit of India. Next, an exhibition of sculptures. And finally, celebrating the artistic similarity between India and Bangladesh. Let's first take you to the Bharat Parv 2020, a festival that celebrates the spirit of India. The festival was held at Red Fort Ground in New Delhi this week and had many attractions for the public, including the display of tableau of the Republic Day Parade, performance by the armed forces bands, and cultural performances from different regions of the country. We bring you glimpses from this festival.
In a bid to promote the cultural diversity of the country, Tourism Ministry hosted a 6-day festival at the Red Fort in Delhi. This year, the central theme of the 5-day-long cultural extravaganza was Ek Bharat, Shreshtha Bharat and celebrating 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi. Bharat Parv is being celebrated since 2016. The festival aims to create a festive and patriotic mood among general public and inculcate the spirit of Dekho Apna Desh. There were also themed state pavilions where each state had been showcasing its strength and tourism products. Central Ministries, handicraft and handloom stalls and food court were the main attractions.
The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Government of India has done very good arrangements here at the Red Fort. And we can see all the tableaus and we can see the culture programs, we can see the food courts. And there are many people, the footfall is very high, people are really enjoying the festival. People really, they are very much excited to come, especially because it being the 150th year of Mahatma Gandhi's Jayanti. So people are here to see the diversity in the country. What we say, the unity in diversity is very meaningfully visible here.
भारत पर्व यहाँ पे मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि हर स्टेट के चीज़ें हमें जानने को मिलती है। अभी मैं रंगशाला में रुकी हुई हूँ, वहाँ पे इतने दिनों से परफॉर्मेंस चल रही थी। जैसे हम किसी स्टेट के बारे में नहीं जानते, हम वहाँ की परफॉर्मेंस, वहाँ के कल्चर के बारे में जानते हैं। इतने दिन से हम अदर स्टेट के आर्टिस्टों से बातचीत करें, उनके साथ खाना पीना, वो भी बहुत अच्छा लगा। और यहाँ पे भारत पर्व है तो यहाँ पे भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
The 71st Republic Day was recently celebrated across India with much enthusiasm, joy and patriotic fervour. Republic Day in our country has been associated with the parade at Rajpath. Tableau from different ministries and departments that participated in the Republic Day parade this year were put on display at the Red Fort lawns, projecting India's rich cultural diversity. And the well-decorated stalls offered a variety of Indian products, including handicrafts, handloom items, clothes, jewelry, paintings, and other useful products. Kashmir's woolen stall drew a large crowd. Bihar's fascinating stall of Madhubani paintings was a big hit with the visitors. With a variety of stalls, the multicultural festival showcased diverse arts and crafts of India.
देखिए, ये फोक आर्ट है, मधुबनी पेंटिंग है और ये हमारे मिथिलांचल की पेंटिंग है। लोग इसे शुभ अवसर पे भी बनाए जाते हैं। हमारे शादी विवाह ये सारे फोक आर्ट हैं, ये हर फंक्शन में हमारे यहाँ यूज होती है, इसलिए लोग शुभ के लिए ही खरीदते हैं। हमारे वो जैसे हम अभी तो फिलहाल मेरा थैला निकला है हमारे काउंटर से, और ये छोटी वाली पेंटिंग निकली है, ये वाली, क्योंकि बड़ी वाली कॉस्ट ज़्यादा है, लोग उतना नहीं खरीद पाते। ये 250 उसी में काम के ऊपर है, 500 का भी है उसी साइज में।
यहाँ का अनुभव काफ़ी कुछ अच्छा है और अगर यहाँ पे स्टेट की बात करें तो अलग अलग स्टेट से अलग अलग कुछ नया यहाँ पर देखने को मिल रहा है जो हम वहाँ पर जाके नहीं देख सकते, लेकिन हमें हमारी दिल्ली में ये लाल किले में ये देखने को मिल रहा है।
Cultural programs at the main stage are seen at the fair every year in the evenings. Different folk and cultural groups entertain the visitors with their performances. Considering people's craze for selfies these days, different selfie points were also made at the fair where people could pose for perfect pictures.
जो भारत पर्व जो फेस्टिवल है लाल किले पे जो लगता है, ये फेस्टिवल बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे। यहाँ पे अदर स्टेट का कल्चर देखने को मिल रहा है और यहाँ का जो क्राफ्ट वगैरह है बहुत अच्छा है। और यहाँ फूड कोर्ट भी है जहाँ आप इंजॉय कर सकते हैं, एज ए फ्रेंड्स को लेके आ सकते हैं, एज ए इंजॉयमेंट के लिए काफ़ी अच्छा है।
Organized as part of the Republic Day celebrations, the cultural extravaganza had everything to engage people of all quarters. The festival offered a tasteful blend of Indian culture, tradition and food, making it a hit among the people. This is Vandana Kumari's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The idea behind Bharat Parv is to celebrate the spirit of India by showcasing and also promoting its diversity in culture. The annual festival aims to motivate Indians to visit different corners of the country and to inculcate the spirit of Dekho Apna Desh. This year, the central theme was Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat, and celebrating 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi. With that, time for a short break on the program. There's lots more coming up ahead. Do stay with us. When we return, we take you to an exhibition of sculptures. Welcome back after the break. Let's now take you to an exhibition of sculptures by Pradosh Dasgupta, the famed sculptor and former director and curator of the National Gallery of Modern Art. Curated by art critic and author Uma Nair, the show traces a timeline that runs from 1947 until 1990.
Akar Prakar presented an art exhibition of sculptures by Pradosh Dasgupta, the famed sculptor and former director and curator of the National Gallery of Modern Art, at Triveni Kalasangam in Delhi recently. Curated by art critic and author Uma Nair, the show titled Translating Modernity traces a timeline that runs from 1947 to 1990. Some of his beautiful art pieces on display included 3 large and 21 smaller sculptures form the core of this epic suite, including one of his famous works, Suryamukhi.
Pradosh Dasgupta is an important figure in the growth of modern Indian art, he is also an important institution maker in the sense that he worked in the National Gallery of Modern Art. So in both roles, and then he was a thinking person. So all these roles, he's very important, and I'm so pleasantly surprised and happy that a show like this, featuring his works, has been arranged. It is very interesting to see how he combined the plastic nature or the plastic trend in the West with the Indian heritage and created an idiom which is very much his own. And I think there are very few sculptors who have done this, and he's surely one of them.
Pradosh Dasgupta trained in sculpture at the Royal Academy of Arts and LCC Central School, London, and the École des Grands Chemins, Paris, after completing his initial studies in sculpture at the Government School of Art and Craft, Chennai, and the Lucknow School of Arts and Crafts. Pradosh was honoured with several awards and accolades for his contribution in the field of arts. In 1955, he was elected as Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, London. In 1957, he joined the National Gallery of Modern Art, New Delhi as the director. Later, he also served at the Lalit Kala Academy in its General Council and Executive Board. His sculptures reflect his interest in art history, his inherent perceptions of the materiality and density of bronze to examine the role of everyday reality and the human narrative to create contemporary moments that defined his evolution over a period of more than 5 decades.
What is unique is that his position in terms of the time. So when in 1937 he went to Paris to study, he went to London and Paris, and he came back and he realized that at that time there was a mood of nationalism in the country. And there was also a mood to go back to the roots, to go back to folk art, to go back to tradition. He was actually a bridge between that thought and the thought that today we are global citizens, today we can take inspiration from anywhere in the world. So why should we only limit ourselves to going backwards to our own history? Yes, that's important. We will do it. We are Indians. We are going to take that stance. But he really bridged that gap.
Of course, as a French, I knew his work because he has linked with France, he has studied in France, he has explored many things, new aesthetics in France. But he still is deeply Indian in his aesthetics. He keeps traditional traditions in his content, shapes, way of working. So it's very interesting to see at the time, because it was very early on, you know, he was in the late 30s in Europe, to see how key this artist is in Indian art history. He really opened up new possibilities for others, to explore new ways of working.
The art show was also represented through his writings and musing on his own sculptures, reflecting his undeterred passion for arts. Pradosh's sculptures are reminiscent of a time when modern Indian art was radically breaking free of its earlier colonial and nationalist antecedents and evolving its own free will and nationalist credentials. His legacy has influenced generations of sculptors. Even today, his trademark style continues to hold high significance for art historians, connoisseurs and collectors. Vandana Kumari's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Presented by Aakar Prakar Art Gallery, the show connected through the sculptor's writings and musings on his own sculptures, suggesting he took a passionate and unabashed delight in the physicality of the forms that he created. A sculptor, thinker and also a poet, Pradosh Dasgupta is described as the one always ahead of his time, a visionary who travelled the world. In fact, his works have been shown at several exhibitions, including at the National Gallery of Modern Art, Victoria Memorial Hall Museum, and also the Lalit Kala Academy. And on that note, we slip into another quick breather. Still more coming up ahead. Don't go anywhere. On the other side of the break, an exhibition showcasing the shared heritage of India and Bangladesh. Welcome back once again. With a purpose to promote and revive the art of printmaking, an exhibition titled Confluence, Celebrating India-Bangladesh was held recently in New Delhi. Printmaking is an art form consisting of the production of images, usually on paper, but occasionally also on fabric, parchment, plastic, or other support by various techniques of multiplication. This show exhibited the works of 24 artists from both countries, offering a glimpse of the common heritage of the prominent artists of both India and Bangladesh.
Printmakers from India and Bangladesh joined their hands to celebrate our shared heritage of printmaking through works of printmaking masters. Presented by the Art Route, the exhibition titled Confluence, Celebrating India-Bangladesh Printmaking, showcased more than 150 prints, offering viewers a glimpse of the art pieces of the prominent artists of the two countries. The works of as many as 24 contemporary printmaking artists, 12 each from India and Bangladesh, were displayed at the exhibition.
Printmaking is a medium which is extremely technical, and there is a lot of labor goes into making an impression on paper. And this is something that it is an independent creative medium, but which is very well understood in the artist community and art connoisseurs community. But it is not fully understood by the public. And we wanted to bring printmaking medium in a broad level, in a broad platform, so that actually audience and layman and art lovers in general who don't know the difference between any other work on paper and printmaking on paper gets an understanding and gets to appreciate it.
The 9-day-long exhibition also highlighted the contribution of two great modern masters, late Somnath Hor from India and late Safiuddin Ahmed from Bangladesh in the art of printmaking. Safiuddin is one of the founding fathers of printmaking in Bangladesh. He played a vital role in establishing Dhaka Art College, which is currently known as Faculty of Fine Arts of Dhaka University. While his student and great master Somnath is credited for keeping the tradition of printmaking alive in India, the art show showcased rare prints of Somnath. Best known for his experimentation of diverse forms in this medium, he invented and developed various printmaking techniques of his own, including his famous pulp print technique, which he used in the critically acclaimed Wound series of prints. Interestingly, both Safiuddin and Somnath are children of undivided India.
There are two artists, Somnath Hor and Safiuddin Ahmed. Both of them were part of the children of undivided Bengal. Somnath Hor was born in Chittagong in Bangladesh, and he came to Kolkata to learn printmaking from Safiuddin Ahmed. Not to learn printmaking, they were part of the same college, Government College of Calcutta, and he learned printmaking from Safiuddin Ahmed, who was born in Kolkata. After 1947, Safiuddin Ahmed went to Bangladesh and went on to become the pioneer in printmaking, and Somnath Hor remained in India. So there is an exchange of these two great artists happened, physical exchange, and which led to the subcontinent actually gaining from the two masters.
It's a very important show because it's basically talking about shared experiences between two people. you know. And when we look at it displayed in this particular way, you can see where these shared lived experiences are coming into, you know, the creative vocabulary of the people.
Printmaking of India and Bangladesh is inextricably linked to each other through their shared history, aesthetics and pedagogical roots, bringing together a variety of prints on one platform. The exhibition aimed to create awareness about the art of printmaking in the context of the two subcontinents. Report Vandana Kumari.
The idea behind the show was to promote printmaking, which has survived despite cultural and technological changes over the years. It not just provided a platform to the artists to showcase their art forms, but also celebrate the artistic similarity between India and Bangladesh. And with that, let's now shift to the culture calendar of the week. The Madras Race Club in Chennai will host an event, Rohaniyat, on the 2nd of February, 6:30 p.m. The India Habitat Centre in Delhi will be the venue for the event, Nritya Swarupa, on the 7th of February, 6 p.m. onwards. In the East, in Kolkata, an event, Beyond Boundaries, is scheduled to be held at Uttam Manch Kali Ghat, 6 p.m. again on the 7th of February. And the Tata Theatre in Mumbai will host the event, Sama's The Mystic Ecstasy, 7 p.m. onwards on the 9th of February. So that's it from us this week on the show. We'll be back same time next week with some other notable and cultural performances. Just in case you missed the television broadcast, let me remind you, you can also watch it online on YouTube and Twitter, and you can also leave behind your feedback and suggestions about the program. Thank you very much for your time, and see you again next week.